This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening. I'd like to call our meeting to order, and we do have a quorum present. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, I'd like to call our meeting of the Hcedc Type B board meeting to order. We do have a quorum present. Yes, at 6:01. Thank you. Okay, number 2, citizens' participation and comments. Do we have any citizens that want to speak? Okay, very good. Moving to item number 3, items of community interest. Hcedc is hiring. The city's looking for positions in the Parks and Grounds and crew leader, Parks and Grounds and maintenance worker, staff accountant, water maintenance worker 1, and water maintenance worker 2. And we do have a blood drive that is coming up at the Hcedc Public Library on Friday, March 17th, 2023, from 1 until 4 p.m.
May I
I'm
ask
sorry,
that
I couldn't hear any of that.
I'm sorry, the Easter egg hunt for April the 1st, and the dates for the next sales tax training workshop will be September the 22nd in the Dallas area.
Thank you.
Any other comments? If not, moving on to item number 4, the consent agenda. We have 2 items to review. One is our meeting minutes from Hcedc Type B January 25th meeting, and also our financial statements from January 2023. Is there any questions regarding either of the 2 documents? No questions, then may I have a motion for acceptance?
I'm sorry, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the January 25th minutes from the previous meeting.
And then second.
Consent agenda.
Do you do 2 of them at the same time? Okay, I'm sorry. And I'd also like to make a motion that we approve the financial report SR 23057.
Okay. Second was. That's going to read approve the consent agenda. Okay.
Okay, item number 5, discuss, consider, and act regarding all properties and property management reports. Oh. Okay, back to item number 4. Do I have a show of votes on this item? Aye. It's unanimous. Okay, moving to item number 5, discuss, consider, and act regarding all properties and property management reports. Mr. Swinky?
Yes, we're going. Okay, we did it. We got our screen switched. Hopefully you can see this on your desktop. Can you see that? Okay. But I just
Ruthie,
wanted
can you see that?
No,
while he's doing that, I just want to give you a little preface, just to make sure everybody knows what properties we're talking about. We always see a list, but we never see anything about what's on that list. And what I'm going to do tonight is just go through each property and talk about the acreage, where it's located, and a photograph of it, so everybody can have a visual of it and some information.
Could you speak a little closer to the microphone?
Ruthie, are you able to see the presentation?
Yes, ma'am, I can see it. But when he speaks, it breaks up because he's not close enough to the microphone.
Ruthie, are you able to see the presentation?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, thank you.
We're going to start off with 210 Main Street, up here just south of the church. And this picture is looking to the northeast from Main Street. And it's a vacant tract except for a small building that's halfway back on it. And it contains about 15,000 square feet, which is a little bit more than a third of an acre. And also it's just vacant. This one is located at 120 Main Street, pretty much diagonally from here to the northwest. And it's a residential house that's occupied, and it contains 0.19 acres. And that's at 120 Main. The next one is the Mai Tai restaurant, and it contains 7,500 square feet, about a little less than a quarter of an acre of land, and with a building on it, 1,292 square feet. And this is on lot 26, lot 6 of block 21 of Hazlet City Original Town. The next track is a vacant tract where the parking lot is going to be. And this is just west of Mai Tai Restaurant, west of State Highway 156, and just to the east of us, to the north of us, where we're sitting right now, behind the restaurant and the food store, or food, not the food store, but the supply store over here, store. And then the final track is really a combination of two tracks, and together it's a little over an acre. And they're also vacant, and it's right at the corner of Westport Parkway and Schoolhouse Road at the southeast corner. And those are the tracts of land that the Hcedc Board B owns. So I just wanted to give everybody a visual of it and also a picture of where they're at. Yeah.
Okay, so 106 Westport Parkway and 181 Schoolhouse Road, are those aren't, we have 102 Westport Parkway and we have Schoolhouse Road with no address. We're talking about this, okay.
Now, these are the addresses that show up when you pull up the ad.
Should we maybe change this for the future perhaps, or is it?
But every parcel around Hazlet, Tarrant County has a side address, what they reference. These are those reference numbers. But anyway, this was just to bring you up to date what properties that we have, and just to give you a visual. And if you want, we can get these out to you so you can have a copy in your file for it. Might be helpful as you drive around and look at them and say, yes, this is a piece of property. While we're talking about.
Oh, I was just going to say, yes, I think we would all like to have this information.
Just one other note, we're in the process of having appraisals done on these properties. The contract has been signed with Mr. Giroux, and he's going to be working on them real soon, and he's supposed to have our results within 30 days. That's his schedule. Hopefully maybe by the next board meeting, we'll have some reports to give you as far as what appraised value of all these tracts. So if you have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer. Yes.
I was wondering, I was thinking at the last meeting that we were also talking about you were going to do some sort of a background check on rental rates or something.
Yeah, that's one of the things. When I was talking to the appraiser on this property, to Glenn, he said it's very difficult to come up with anything like that because there's really not very many comparables right around here. In fact, he's going to have to reach out a long ways just to get comparables. And so I thought I'd just put that off until he came up with some. But you're right. That's one of the things I wanted to look at. But there's just not a lot of comparables for these properties. You know, it's hard, like at the Schoolhouse Road and Westport, there's just no current sales have gone on. So it's hard to know just what happened.
My guess would be that perhaps Justin might be a comparable area. I pulled up 76052 just to look to see what's available for rent. And the very least expensive property I saw, I looked earlier today, was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath on Country Lane. I'm not sure, but I think that's the street perhaps across from Bain. And so it just came up in this area. I think it was 970, something like that.
For how many square feet?
Very small. It was just 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and I don't remember the square footage off the top of my head. And then, strangely enough, there was like a travel trailer listed for rent, and I believe that was about 1,100. And of course, it's very minuscule in size as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of unusual. I know there's not much in this area to compare to.
Well, hopefully, after we get these appraisals, we'll put them on the market and we'll sell them all, and it really become a moot point. Just what the rents are, we'll let somebody else deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any other questions for item 5 of Mr. Swanky? Okay, if not, we'll move on to item number 6, reports and presentations, economic development. Mr. Swanky?
I want to talk about several things that are going on. First off, we had a development review committee meeting today. Steve and I were part of that, and there are a lot of things moving on in the city, a lot of activity, and you would think that things were going to slow down. They're not. They're really accelerating. So we have a lot of exciting things that are coming down the road. Also, I want to mention that last Friday, the mayor, myself, David Rogers, Mike Anderson, our city engineer, we went to a Tarrant County regional transportation meeting, and there was about 600 people there. And it ended up being about a 5-hour meeting, but the first 2 to 2.5 hours of that meeting were really dedicated to Hcedc, without really talking directly about it, but it was about what's going on around Alliance Airport, Hcedc Parkway, and all the roadway systems and what funding is available and what's going on. But it was really interesting that the whole focus of the county was right up in this region, city of Hcedc. So there's a lot of things just happening here. And so, but like I said, there's just a lot of things happening around. You're going to see some new developments going on, and there'll be some announcements real soon and some zoning activity that hopefully will be exciting sport.
Are you talking about in the city limits,
In the city limit
development
develop,
and zoning? And you can't share that with us?
not until they're submitted. Once they're submitted, I can. That's just the nature of the beast. Sometimes people really don't want to know or let it out until they say we can really talk about it.
Can you tell us if we're talking commercial, industrial, residential? Can you be any,
Commercial and some industrial. Wasn't residential, no residential. No residential.
Sounds good. Any other questions? Okay, moving to item number 6.2, update regarding the printed publication of the Hcedc Business Directory. Nothing new to report there. With the icy weather that we had this past month and an illness in my family, wasn't able to push that forward any further. So what I'd like to recommend is to go ahead and remove it from the agenda until I have more information that is specific for the board to consider. Thank you. Okay, no executive session is listed for us to attend. Item number 8, consider and act on items, that's for executive session. Item number 9, consider and act regarding items to be placed on the next agenda. Do we have any items that anyone would like to see placed?
Progress, oh, I'm sorry. I just suggest to continue, of course, with progress on the properties.
Evaluation.
And speaking of that, our engineer let me know that of course, the survey's been done on the property for the parking lot, and they're going to be finishing the design work in about 30 days, and hopefully a couple months after that, we'll be starting to see some construction.
Okay, thank you. The time is 6:16. With no other items on the agenda, I call this meeting adjourned.